Yes.
Okay. Hi guys. Today we'll be doing the recorded video chat 5. And this week's discussion will be based off of what types of culture you have experienced at the workplace, positive, negative, engaging or entertaining, any experience that you may have with the Pygmalion effect, and if you believe the leaders are able to shape culture. And so, based off text, the Pygmalion effect is basically to live up to expectations within the workplace. So, has anybody had any positive or negative experiences they would like to share, or some experiences they've been engaged with?
I mean, I think I definitely agree with the Pygmalion effect. Like personally, for me, if I've had managers who are like lazy, I go into work lazy. That's just how it is. If I know they're not going to care, why would I care? So I definitely, as far as like work has gone, and even school with my professors, like my how well I do is pretty much what my managers or what my leaders have expected of me. And I guess that's not always a good thing because I should be like I should personally set goals for myself but I definitely would have to say that I live up to the expectations of my leaders most of the time.
Definitely, like getting positive feedback from teachers and instructors and stuff, it's so helpful in the workplace. You know, having that engaging environment and culture, I enjoy that a lot. Like I like having like when you're at work or something and they do a big like raffle or something to get like people engaging with each other and stuff like that. It's fun.
I agree.
It is. I think it's important to have a positive corporate culture experience. Like I work for an awesome company, and they are solely driven off of encouraging the staff to, with in other words, to produce good numbers, to where we always getting rewarded for things, or just they show their appreciation in return for our hard work. So I think that's important. So that's something that I've experienced that's positive. From a negative standpoint, um, like Paige was saying about her, supervisors not performing their job due to their best abilities affected hers. And I agree, in other words, um, you are motivated off of what you see your leaders do. And if they're not putting forth their best effort, why should you? I know that's like wrong to say, but it's kind of like how it is at times.
It is,
When,
yeah. It is
hmm
wrong. That's why you set your own goals and everything, but when you're at work, you definitely, like work especially, it's definitely like if they're going to allow me to be lazy, you're going to be lazy.
Kind of test the waters a little to see how far you can go without getting caught or getting the repercussions for your actions.
I agree with that, but I always feel like personally disappointed in myself because I always feel like I should be in control of my own actions and feelings, and like that's where I think that this kind of comes full circle, because if you really have leadership attributes or determinations, then it shouldn't your work performance shouldn't be based on someone else's or your attitude or whatever. Like, I agree with the concept and I totally get that it's human nature, but for me personally, like, I just always want to expect more of myself than based on what anybody
Hmm
else is doing. So
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess that's where I kind of like, I get the concept and I totally agree that that's what happens, but for me personally, like, and that's what I try to teach my son and just in general is, you can only control you. So,
That's actually
hmm
one of my top 10 at my job that I just started. It's like being proud of your own effort and not
mhm.
like doing the right thing when no one's watching. Like that's one of
Yep.
our top 10 at work.
Yep. You
Yeah.
you have to lay your head down on your pillow at night knowing, you didn't do it based on what, everybody's a victim of circumstance, in
hmm
life and in your job and whatever, but I just, for me personally, like I just can get caught up in, well, if they don't care, I'm not going to care. But then at the end of the day, that only hurts me,
And reflect. Yeah.
hmm as well as your team, and affects
Right.
everybody because what you
Yeah.
do affect others.
And that's why I think it's full circle is it, then you have some kind of leadership towards someone else and you're not breaking the chain or the cycle. So, um, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
No, I'm like that too. I'm really hard on myself. Like if I don't do
Mhm.
something that I feel like I'm doing 100%, but
Mhm.
it does make a difference. I had like last semester, I had this teacher that was so hard on many students. Like they, would reach out and we had to do like group projects and they're like, man, I just don't know. Like I'm feeling so discouraged.
Mhm.
And then,
Mhm.
like I had a compliment on one of my papers this, semester saying like, oh, you're so good at writing. And it like made me want to be better. I'm like, okay, I want to do more.
Mhm.
So I feel
Mhm.
like they do, like leaders do have that ability to really create a team or break them down.
Right.
And
Yeah.
That's one of the next questions. It says that, in other words, do you believe that leaders are able to shape the culture? I say yes,
I say
because
100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think they always have to shape the culture, but do they have the ability to? Obviously.
mhm,
They're the ones in charge. So,
I definitely think they set the tone, and then based on personalities or personal choices, that's where you run with it. And like the quote on 261, it says, "We are not only our brother's keeper in countless large and small ways, we are our brother's maker." So I think
mhm,
the leader sets the tone, and then the rest of you kind of shape and form each other and attitudes. Like, kind of like we're in a group. Maybe, like I'm not saying that this is the case for this class, but like Nicole, like you were saying with another class, it was discouraging. But as a group, you guys can kind of lead each other and change it around.
mhm.
And you know what I mean? Like, I think
definitely.
the leader definitely sets the tone, but I also think that each of us have that leadership aspect that we can,
Yes.
chain react each other.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So
This is
I
my
do.
first. This is my first actual. I've had other group courses, of course, but this is the first time I've actually been able to engage with my group members with live chat and things of this nature. And so coming into this semester, I had like a negative vibe, like, oh my gosh, here we go with another group thing. But all in all, with me, necessarily meeting you ladies virtually, it's been a very positive experience. Each of
it
us are all leaders. It's like no one has never been a follower in our group to where we all come together as a leader to get things
Mhm.
done. And so that kind of set the tone from day one for all of us to be where we can be able to do our assignments and be successful as one
Mhm.
instead of individually, and how we support each other. I think that is so awesome. And so I just wanted to just put that out there because it did fall into the
I
discussion.
know. I think we've all
Yeah.
kind of emerged as leaders in this group and have definitely worked
Hmm.
together.
I
I
think
Hmm.
what
definitely
really
agree.
I
helps,
agree.
I think what helps is like having the instructor with the feedback, like Nicole was saying, like having feedback from the professor is helping us actually like engage in more. Sorry, my daughter is like
Hmm.
screaming. But
That's okay.
yeah, I think our instructor is pretty good with like with the feedback and stuff. Like it's not just like a basic grade. Like there's actually like a comment
Right.
with your assignment.
Yes,
So that helps a lot with like how I feel about doing more assignments and like putting the quality into
Hmm.
my assignments and everything. So.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, the feedback helps me immensely, and I'm not saying like, like if you get negative feedback, I understand you can be constructive with that and build on it and become a better, person and actually take from it. But then there's that other opposite side where you're trying your best and someone sees that and they kind of just keep pushing or bringing you down, and that part's hard for me because I strive off trying my best and doing my best. So hearing feedback and stuff like that from an instructor is so important to me and it really helps.
I agree.
100%.
I think that
Yeah.
plays on like where the book says when you can't set your expectations too high, but they must be high in order for you to
Hmm.
improve or meet a standard. And I think that's what feedback does is it helps you kind of like, okay, you have a goal to reach, but it's not an instance where like I've been in an organization where people think they know it all and that's all they have to learn, and like you just can't have that attitude. I think there's always something that you can learn from a situation. So feedback and people who are willing to learn with you and build you up is definitely how you're going to go somewhere and get better at anything. It's those people that have those high expectations, they know it all, they've learned it all. That's a roadblock to me.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. What are some points that we could use to support our personal observations and an example from like the media that we could use in regards of corporate culture and if leaders, can shape the culture of the organization? It
Hmm.
says from the media.
I always think that's hard with the media because it's like you go to one channel and their focus has a different purpose, and you go to another channel and they have a different purpose, and they all seem to be,
Hmm.
I don't know, geared in a
It's just like they tell
specific
you what they
way.
want to tell you. Like,
Hmm.
Yeah,
We could
exactly.
use,
Not trying to get like political or anything, but that's like the big thing that I can always, kind of
yeah,
point out. Is like you'll go to one channel like
or we
Fox
can,
News and they're one way, and then CNN's another way, and you're like, what?
yeah.
Who do I trust? Who do I
Yeah,
believe?
exactly.
yeah. But an example
Yeah.
that I could possibly think of from regards into the media is like I was looking at how Google, I want to say it's either Google or Yahoo. I want to say it's Google, how um, they have their corporate culture set to where their employees don't have to go home if they choose to because they have a facility that can provide them with a resting area to where they can sleep, rest, do homework. They only have like so many hours within the day to work as long as they're producing. And so I selected that because that's the type of culture to where, how you have some jobs say, well, you get a full day's pay for a full day's, of work, whereas this organization allow their employees to rest and relax so they can brainstorm, so they can implement ideas, for the organization. And so I love that corporate culture because my job does it as well. We have like a rest area to where if you're over, you can take a break without being penalized, to where you can come back to your desk and function. And so I wanted to say something that's not negative within the media, but I thought that was a
Mhm.
good idea that we could use too, that how the corporate culture can transition to where it can benefit the employee as well as the organization as a whole. And if you look at an organization that's like Google, they're very successful financially, our corporate culture for that, what they have in place for their employees. So
That
that's
just
an
Absolutely, yeah.
idea.
that just reminded, I don't know why that reminded me of this, but that reminded me of they've in some schools, I don't know where exactly, they've implemented like instead of going to detention, you go and do like yoga. And
Mhm.
they say like,
Yes, it was like at an inner city school. I think that is,
and that's
I
like,
swear,
that is an amazing corporate culture to have in place to like be
is.
and teach children to be calm. And like I've been to yoga and they focus on your breathing, they focus on things that you don't even think about. And to teach a little kid, like instead of just shutting them up and putting them in the corner and saying you're in trouble, and to teach them like to not get angry and to try to breathe and like these little things, like I think that's a wonderful corporate culture to put in place even at such a young age.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
That I've
So I
read
guess
that
that
article, and their behavior, like they used to have a lot of it was like with the inner city youth, they had very like a lot of behavioral problems. And since they implemented this program, grades have improved, test scores have improved, and the behavior is almost obsolete now
right.
because they know how to transition that behavior into something positive. I think that is man, I wish they would do it here
I
because there's
know.
so many kids who they need that.
They just
Yeah.
and then these are probably kids who aren't being taught at home to like relax, and
Hmm.
probably they probably have high strung parents and everything. So it's just like it's just a way to say, hey, you're in trouble, but you have to go calm down. Like instead of
Hmm.
making it worse. I thought that was amazing, and
Hmm.
it's something I never thought of. But it's just like kind of like you said with Google, and they just take their time to go relax instead of like getting all crammed in their brain. They let them go relax so they can generate new ideas.
Hmm.
It's kind of the same concept with the kids.
Have you guys seen that
Hmm.
article about in the correctional facility and they had a cosmetologist come in?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's kind of like that, I guess, because
I
like
haven't seen that.
they I didn't read the full article, but then basically this cosmetologist came in and I guess the guys who were doing well, they were able to go into this program where they're able to learn how to do hair and nails and like facials and everything. And like, so I don't know if they get their license, but I think they get some, maybe a college credit or something. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was really good. And like, it was a way that they get to pamper each other. And I thought it was really cute. And it's a really good, like, performative type of program for these guys. So I guess that's like a thing that was in the media. It was on BuzzFeed. So media.
That is really
Yeah, that's
cool.
a good one too. That is.
Yeah, they go for
Because you're
the
turning a negative
1,600
situation to
hours.
positive.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolutely. So I guess, I mean, overall in the conversation, it sounds like we agree that like a culture really can affect everybody, and that having the right leaders to guide that, it, you know, is pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm,
And I
definitely.
think that like the last things that you guys have mentioned, it's replacing a behavior with another behavior. It's not punishment. And I
Mhm.
think that's what leadership is all about, especially this Pygmalion effect is, you know, when you implement something that's a behavior for behavior, not necessarily I know it all or this is punishment, you get better results.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It is so true. And it's sad because sometimes you'll hear people say, well, you shouldn't have to be rewarded to do a job that you're getting paid to do. And I don't look at it as a reward, but I look at it as them showing their token of appreciation for all of your hard work and effort. And like with my job, like they have it set up to where if you're a student and you just have a test or a quiz to go take, they give you like a VTO time where voluntary time off to where it doesn't affect your attendance or anything hours to go do homework to where you're not penalized. And for like a college student such as myself, being a single mom and all the other responsibilities, that's
Mhm.
awesome. And I love my corporate culture of my job to where I'm able to sustain financially without the fear of losing my job because, you know, I have other responsibilities that I'm not able to take off from like I would with another, you know, employer. So
Which makes you a better mom. It makes you a better person. It makes you,
yes.
yeah, I mean, all those kind of things. Because hats off to you for being a single parent. But
Thank you.
mainly, you know, the stress of what people have to do to sustain life is a cause and effect. You know,
Hmm.
I see lots of kiddos that go home and their parents are at work and they have no supervision, but that's not, I mean, that's just life. And
That's life, yeah.
when our jobs afford us to kind of be, you know, we're able to have a more stable mentality and whatnot. I mean, obviously, stress is going to exist, but I do think that it helps, you know, how we are as parents, how we are as people, how we handle situations. And yeah, I definitely think that our mentality at work and our the ease of mind helps you in other aspects of your life. So I don't know how
Hmm.
you do it alone. So hats off to you.
Yeah. Thank
That's a
you.
really,
I'm
really
going
good
through a
point.
divorce, and so it's just something that comes with the territory. I don't look for handouts. You just have to do it, and it is what it is. And
I
so that's
Well,
know.
what I base things off of.
that's to be admired. Not a lot of people, you know.
No, and I think you came up with a
Thank
good
you.
point saying like you have to take care of yourself in order to properly take care of others. And if
Exactly.
your workplace or the environment that you put yourself in allows that, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how sometimes, well, I could use this as an example for of negative. Back home, we have, you know, Fox 16 News, and there was a story about how they were thinking about cutting off like unemployment benefits and some benefits that could be, you know, benefit single parents. And someone made the comment that people who um, receive unemployment benefits are easy. And I said that's not the case because a person could be a victim of circumstance,
Mm-hmm.
lack of childcare. You know, their car may have broke down. They don't have the money to get it repaired. And so when you're thinking about far as leadership, you may have an organization that has the ability to help their employees, but instead, nope, full time pay for a 4 days, you know, work scenario where they'll lose their job because they may be 10 or 15 minutes late because their car broke down or they need someone to go pick up their child and they're not able to leave. And so I appreciate organizations such as the place that I work at because they understand that things happen.
Yeah, who wants
And
to work somewhere like that? Like we're obviously all humans. We're like life
Mm-hmm.
happens. So why would you want to work for an organization that
mhm,
acts like they're the only thing going on? Like, you know,
mhm,
they if they were the only thing going on, they wouldn't be functioning. So they should, organizations shouldn't think like that.
If you
I think
look
on the
at
flip side is they maybe get nervous because you do have people who take advantage of the system.
yeah,
I recruit and have called people and I've been like, oh, I have a job that you can interview. It's making $15 an hour. And they're in Los Angeles and they're like, well, I make more on unemployment. So I'd rather just stay unemployed. And it's sad to see that because people like that, I think, ruin it for people who are working really hard. And it's hard. I mean, I don't know what advice to give to somebody to say, how to tell the difference and things like that, but maybe implementing like a positive, I don't know, plan or course of action or something to kind of help guide people instead of making it, I don't know, so easy. I don't know really how to give advice for that.
What do you say
it's a
in
huge
that instance?
sustainability issue, though.
What do
said
you
what now?
say in that? What do you say in that instance? Like, I would be like, "Don't you want to contribute to society?" Like, I mean, what do you say? Like, okay.
At
what
that
can you
point,
say?
it's hard. I mean, because I can't force somebody to want to work by any means. So you just kind of say, okay, thank you for your time, and they go on their way. But I think that's where companies come up with these like, oh, we want to end these benefits for people, hurting so many other good people. And it's like maybe having like a system in place where they show, like they've been applying for jobs, they've been trying or something like that might be helpful or beneficial. I don't.
It's
Obviously, I
still
can't
so
complain.
complex. Yeah, that's a huge sustainability issue is when it looks regards to like economics and things of that nature, because you have people like you say, oh, I have a job for you that makes $15 an hour, and that individual says, well, I'm making more on unemployment benefits, and they may have a family of 5. You see what I'm saying? Well,
Yeah.
right now we're getting a little bit more, but I could get this job, but we need this money right now. And so it just kind of ties into that. That's why I think they need to just implement programs to teach people how to utilize their skills to where they can become self-employed or sustain financial without having to depend on the system. And I fought some I can't even pronounce the word, but anyway, they don't have a cutoff time. They just let you go on it for years and years and years to where you don't have to improve yourself. And it's really just to be used just to get you enough push to get on your feet. But people abuse it for no reason and just say, I'm not working. I've heard women say, I want to have children just so that they can get, cash benefits from the state. And it's sad. It is so sad. But Nicole, you hit the nail on the head to where people just they'll just rather choose the easy way out instead of just being a hard worker.
Yeah, but I think you're right in saying that maybe it's because, like you said, there are people out there that have a family and they make it almost unlivable now with the cost of living and how much people are actually making. It just sometimes doesn't make sense. And, obviously there's a lot of issues we could all, I'm sure, go on all day about, how we can fix the world. But, I guess that is a big one. And I think that, like you said, maybe implementing programs that teach people their skill sets and things like that. That's like a future leader move of the world, I think.
It is. I'm taking like master classes for sustainability leadership with ASU, and that's some of the topics that we talk about. It's like what complex issues globally affects our society, and if you think about, homelessness is a big issue. Parents that are single, mothers, and there's no programs that really can help them use as a tier for them to become self-sustainable. And it's just they just kind of push out there. Then now, when you think about it, okay, it affects the environment because homeless. It's just sad. It's just a very sad situation. It's a really easy fix, but you have those that say, "Well, I make more money than you, so I'm not going to help you," or that's not my problem. And it's sad. But if we could just come together as one, we could resolve so many issues that's causing us so much pain and hardship right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think like when you consider why they do things they do, like it brings it back to this discussion. It's like what in their life caused them to not be motivated or to be motivated to the point that they say they'd rather make it a career living off assistance than working, or you know, like I just truly believe that things have shaped people to where that they have those attitudes. And it's the same thing with our jobs, with our organizations. Like when we have leaders, like when we have parents or examples or mentors, we want to do better. We want something for our lives or ourselves. But you've got to think that those people just they didn't have that foundation somewhere along the line. And we can all, yeah, it kind of brings it back full circle.
Oh, definitely. Like in order to be a leader, you have to have a positive leader. And I mean, no one just is born and like all of a sudden this little baby's a leader. You know, there's like people
Yeah.
and things in place that help shape that. So.
And that we should be that for each other. You know, we should, you know, be that influence instead of like, oh, well, that's your problem, like you said.
Yeah,
Kristen.
absolutely.
Yes. And so,
I agree. If we all did that, we would change the world.
future sustainability leaders of America.
I know, right?
Fantastic.
Okay. What's our time looking like, Paige, for our feed?
Oh, we're good. I think we're probably 25 minutes actually.
Okay.
All
So
right.
next on the list is to discuss for our next week's meeting who facilitate.
We've all facilitated, right? Everyone has gone at least once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that we're safe to say, like, we'll just talk next week. I don't think we actually need to pick a facilitator. If someone needs to take charge, like, let's just take charge in the conversation. I think she just wanted each one of us to do it once, and then, you know, as long as we keep the flow of the conversation going, I think that's okay.
Okay. And then next it says if we had any other business regarding the theory database assignment. Are there any other questions or concerns or?
I'm interested to see what your mom comes back with the retreat from, because I just want to know, like, in my own head, if we're supposed to like leave those there or not. I don't know why
Yeah.
I was so bad, but and I think that everything on that was good. We still have 2 definitions for some of them. But yeah, we'll just wait for her feedback too, I think, on that, and before we really discuss that.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
hoping that she gives us feedback and that we're basically done.
I mean,
Did
if she
she-
doesn't give feedback, I would assume that everything's fine. That's how I would like think about the assignment. So
Mhm.
Okay.
Did you already end the
And I'll
recording
get-
page by chance?
no, I can.
Okay.